So just to kind of get familiar with some of these areas here, in this overview section is really going to give you your general campaign metrics and its performance and how it's doing. Clicks and impressions are always good to look at. You can change these. So if you want to know if your campaigns are, getting conversions, you might want to hit conversions and then hit all. For clicks, that's always a good campaign metric to go by. Here is your ad here, so this is what that would look like. And then if you want to go over to your campaigns, you can click here or you can click there. If you want to go to your ad groups, you can click right here and look, there's that ad group right there. So auction insights, this is a very important area that you do want to take a look at in terms of knowing how you're performing against your competitors. What you would see typically here once your ads are running is a list of domains and information based off who is on the top of the page, the percentage of time the person is at the absolute top of the page, and the impression share. So overlap rate would be how often a competitor's ad showed within that same auction compared to your ad. So whatever metric is there is comparing your ad in the same auction as a competitor. Position above rate is how many times a competitor's ad showed above yours within that same auction. So when someone does a Google search, that's considered an auction. So it's how many times your competitor showed in the position above you. The top of page rate is how many times your ad showed at the top of the page. And the absolute top of page rate is the percentage that your ad showed as the very first top position above the search ad organic results. And the outrank sharing is the percentage of time that your ad showed above a competitor's ad within a given auction. So that's just a little bit about what some of these are and some important metrics to pay attention to. And if you do want, if you're like, I don't know any of this stuff, it's fine. What you can do is hover over and all of this information will be told to you. So just hover over these areas and it will tell you what the definition is. And it's just good to know. So when you start to run, you're going to start to see these areas here and you're going to start to see how you compete. And that's under the auction insight category here. For ads and extensions, this is what you would click on to get to your ads. So if you did want to build more ads, you could simply click here and then you can click create ad and you can create a responsive search ad, which is what we just created. A call ad. So if you want only people to call your business, you would click here, click your campaign and your ad group, and you can have it set just to call your business. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 6. And then you would put your headlines here. So again, bring my ad builder over. I can simply copy and paste. The business name. Let's add a couple descriptions. Okay, and then save new ad. And now you have a call only ad. And then if you want to access the extensions, you would click here and go over to extensions. So we have one, I'm going to click out of that. So we already have our call out extensions, but this is where if we wanted to add our site link extensions, our structured snippet extensions, we would add it from here, our lead form extension. And this is also how we would access the information from our lead form extension, the leads that actually filled out areas and submitted the form. Going into keywords. Now, this is also very important because we want to see how our keywords are performing. We can look at the clicks, how many people actually clicked on the keywords. If we are seeing that our ads are not doing anything, say that it's just this flat line here, we've run it for a couple days, then we would want to take a look here. We would want to look at the clicks, and then we might have to raise the bids to some of the keywords. It depends. We might have to do that though, but you can still stay within your daily budget. As long as your daily budget is what it is, that's fine. You can raise these so that they can compete, but you do want to start with a low max CPC, and then you can always add more if you see that it's not getting any clicks or impressions. Start with low, and then you can go a little bit higher if needed. So if you want to go into your campaign settings, click on settings, and this will show how everything is set up here. So for example, if I click this, yeah, so we selected that with no goal. That's completely fine. We only chose the search network, remember in the beginning? So this kind of brings you back to that area. If you did want to make changes and adjustments, if you wanted to change the end date, you can do that as well. So this is where you go to do all of that. So here in change history, this is really, really helpful as well. If you work with somebody and you have them managing your account, or maybe you're running this with your spouse, or you're running this with a friend, and there's more than one person managing the account, here's the change history, and you can see what was done and what date it was done on, and you can undo things too. But of course, communication is key. I think you'd want to talk with somebody, but you can get all the details here in what is being done. So when you start to grow, and if you start considering, my business is big, I want to focus on the business end of it and have somebody manage this, you can always go into the change history section just to see what has been done here. It's a good way to kind of keep tabs on what's happening and to be looped in with the account changes, especially if there's more than one person in the account, because maybe they shifted something, maybe they changed a bidding strategy, maybe they changed the keyword match types, and you are unaware of this. It's helpful for you to know, and just know that there's a reason why something has happened, and then you can ask them, so it's just all a good way to keep everybody looped and synced in with what's going on with your account. Okay, so under locations, this is where we get all the information on people that have clicked and where they've clicked based off their location. And we get this granular information because we copied and pasted all of the states. So that has helped us. Say you're targeting nationally and you're noticing one state is performing far better than another one, or there's a couple that just aren't performing at all. Why would we want to even auction in those areas? Why don't we focus on the areas that are doing well and converting well? Having this information is really helpful for us to know. So this is why I have you break it down by location. And then this is just where the ad schedule is. You can look at devices and how it's performing on computers versus mobile versus tablets. Here is a recommendations tab. Now, you're going to see this and you're going to get these recommendations randomly through Google about campaign performance. I would say take these recommendations with a grain of salt, because sometimes these recommendations are geared towards having you spend more money. So Google is a business too, right? So the more you spend, the more they make. So to a certain degree, take this with a grain of salt. Recommendations usually is going to tell you to do it to an automated bid strategy to increase your budget. That's typically what the recommendations are. There are also oftentimes a lot of keyword recommendations. They will recommend for you to change to broad match. Broad match, I do not recommend. So it really is a way to eat through your budget quickly and not get results. Is there a benefit to Google for you eating through your budget quickly? Yes. So we want our campaigns completely targeted and to have control over them. We don't necessarily want to run them and then have another issue where your budget runs out. Okay, so a little bit more about your new Google Ads account. I want to make sure that you know how to navigate it and you know where to get to. So we did set up our campaigns, and we've gone through where you find your campaigns here, how to find some of these hidden areas that may be hidden on your screen, a little bit about here with KPIs, that's key performance indicators, your campaign metrics, and how to get to ads, create ads and extensions and ad groups and campaigns. What we do want to go over now are some of these tools here and just really what things are. So if your view is ever, different from this, just click switch view. This is going to bring me back to a very basic view. I'm going to go over to here. I want to switch my view because I want to see all this stuff. So over here, up on top here, this is your, this is your Google account number. So if I click over here, you're going to see your Google Ads account, and then you're going to see your Google Ads account number, which is a 10-digit number. And so if you ever have any billing questions, or if you need to reach out to Google, the first thing that you're going to need to provide them with is your Google account number. Okay, and then we're going to go over here. So for notifications, you're going to get these little alerts that are going to tell you, if your campaigns aren't running, they'll let you know. If they have recommendation, they'll let you know. If they want, right here, this is saying protect your account from unauthorized activity, very important. So you'll want to go through this process and just check out your notifications whenever they come through. Whatever email that you have set up with this, you would be getting alerts through there as well. This is ways that you can check out helpful resources, look at new features and announcements, contact customer support. So this would be a good place for you to be able to contact them and leave feedback, or, it's the help section. Tools and settings. So there's going to be a lot of tools and settings here. It's going to, it might seem overwhelming at first, but it's really, really not that bad as long as you know how to navigate it. We'll start over here with billing. So over in the billing section is where you're going to see your summary and your transactions. So you'll be able to see your account balance. You can also go to your paying methods and add and remove cards based off this too. What we're going to do is look at the setup area right here. Really, the main area that we want to look at is access and security. And then we will be looking at linked accounts if you do have a Google Merchant Center account. So if you are e-commerce and you sell products, we're going to need to set up a Google Merchant Center account for you. But let's take a look at here, access and security. So this is where you can add users. If you want to add somebody else in here to manage your account or to view your account, you can do so here. And you can actually even further down the line, when you start really making money and you want to have someone kind of take over your account, you can go over here, and this is where you can add users. You would just add their email. They have to have a Gmail. They have to have a Gmail. You have to have a Gmail. I don't know if I said that before, but in order to create an account, you have to have a Gmail. So you just include their email, and then you can put what they can see. So you can set them at read only. You could set them at standard, which means that they can go through the account and make changes. Admin is like the ultimate level. So at the admin level, they can go in and add other users and edit users, managers, and product links. That's, and the standard level can do all of that, but they can't go in and edit your users or anything like that. Read only, they can't edit campaigns, they can't edit billing, and they can't add any users. So here it is. You can check it out for yourself, but these are the different levels. If you did want to have someone come on board and check out your account, or, if you're watching this video with somebody else, this is how you would, have more than one person manage the account. And then you would just click send invitation. Don't worry about managers. Let's go over to security. So I would go through the steps here to secure your account. Security, especially nowadays, very important. So I would definitely recommend going through these suggestions here to make sure your account is extra secure, but you can do that whenever you would like to. Okay. This is just really showing you around. So going back over to tools and settings. So linked accounts, I'm going to go over this when we set up the Google Merchant Center account, because this is where you would want to do that. If you are not an e-commerce business, then don't really worry about this yet. You can set up your Google Analytics along with this, but if you don't even know what that is, then let's just keep this basic and simple and get you started. This course has been refined over and over because I did go into this Google Analytics component. I did go into all these different components, and I worked with a strong team where we just wanted to get the basics so that it is understandable, that you can set it up without all this overwhelming information. And these are ways that we can still run and get started and build your leads without all of this system overload information. So really, these are the basics. If you do have a web builder and they set up your Google Ads account, then you would want to connect that, and you would want to connect with them to do that. So really, I'm just trying to provide you with what you need to get going and to get making money, to get launched. This is really what this whole course is all about. And this is without any digital marketing services fees. Over here in the shared library, this is where your negative keyword lists are. So you can access it here as well, or you can access it in that navigation pane over to the left, under keywords in that section that we reviewed before. So, but you can also access it here as well. And you can access your audiences here too. Planning. So this area here is pretty awesome. We are going to use the Keyword Planner tool. The Keyword Planner tool is a really helpful tool for you to be able to get insights based off of your target location on search volume and cost per click and estimated performance. So let's go ahead and get started here. You have a couple of options when you first enter this screen. So you can click Discover New Keywords, which would be kind of a keyword discovery, or get search volume forecast off of your current keywords. So if I do click Discover New Keywords, you can start with one specific keyword, grass cutting services near me, get results. And here you go. You get all these different keyword ideas. But the thing is, you're targeting the United States. So before we do any of this, because this is really, really a cool feature and tool, and I want to go over it thoroughly, let's go back over. Let's go back over here. So if you click Start with a website, you can use your website or competitor websites that are performing well, and you can get search results of keyword suggestions. And that's a really helpful tool too. So websites that are doing their due diligence, they're performing well from an SEO standpoint, it means they're very crawlable, which means that we have pretty good information. Google has good information from their website. So we can get really good ideas from either the domain level or just a specific page on the website. So you can copy and paste a website here and you can get results that way. Okay, so if we click Discover New Keywords and put lawn mowing services, get results. So then it has all of these suggestions of new keywords that you can think about adding to your campaigns. Now, what we want to do here is change this. This is important. We want to make sure that we are targeting the region that we are trying to form keywords around. So I'm going to go ahead and enter Albany, and I am going to select that Albany, Schenectady, Troy DMA, because it does hit the surrounding areas. And maybe, this main of grass company hits all those areas. So let's click save. And then we're going to see the average monthly searches here. And this is specifically for Albany, New York. So all of this is great information for us to know. And they have 682 keyword ideas. We want narrow and targeted keywords. So definitely feel free to use this keyword planner tool, but make sure that you're not adding every single keyword possible, because you're going to broaden your targeting that way, which is going to make your campaigns difficult to manage, and it's going to make it more likely that your ads populate in front of an audience that maybe isn't a good match. So look at these keyword ideas. You can scroll through here at the bottom, and also you can show rows at like 500 so that it's a little bit easier to go through everything. You don't have to keep on clicking go through. This shows the average monthly searches. That is helpful to know. So grass cutting services in Albany, New York, it's around 10 to 100 average monthly searches. The competition is medium. So that basically is, they rank it from low, medium, and high. If other people are bidding for this specific keyword, that is the competition level. So top of page bid, around $2 per click. Not bad. Actually, this is really good and affordable. Some keywords, depending on the industry. So for example, law firm industries, so there's certain areas like personal injury law firms, they can have highly competitive keywords that are very expensive. In the finance arena as well, there's a category called factoring where it's so difficult to compete. Factoring and accounts receivable, those keywords are so expensive, and it's difficult to compete and bid for them because it could be close to $100 just for a click. Think about that, just for a click. And if they don't take action after that click, that can be defeating. That can eat through your budget so quickly. So we want to make sure that the cost per click is relatively obtainable. So top of the page, these are pretty good. 30 cents. Well, that's for mowing the lawn. Again, you want to look up. Grass cutting services would be a good one because that is exactly what they offer. And then this is the high range. So this is the low range. This is the high range of what that would be. So this is all really helpful information, and you can use these tools to get ideas of more keywords or your current keywords. Your current keywords you can copy and paste right into here, and then you can get your search volume forecast off of those keywords. And then you would just want to select your location or area. If your current keywords are not showing anything for average monthly searches, it's okay. Still run with them, and then maybe form another list based off other keyword ideas. But in general, if you're offering a service, you do want to hit those areas where it's near me, best, top, and your location area. Those are just general helpful rules for your keywords to be able to perform well. Okay, so that is how you would use the Keyword Planner tool. Please feel free to go ahead and explore other tools. If you're really interested in learning more, go ahead and explore your Google Ads account. I just want to show you the basics to get you going, to get you running in a good way. Yeah, please feel free to explore other tools.